Still in South Africa, now a non-profit organization, Gift of the Givers, has once again answered a call for help in communities worst hit by the Cape floods. The team says it has deployed teams to provide humanitarian aid as heavy rains and strong winds gripped parts of the province. The Cape flood took many by surprise due to the unseasonable wet weather and the sheer amount of water that has flooded towns throughout the Western Cape. Now, this is the second severe flooding incident in recent months, and many families are needing help. Right now, the operations manager for Gift of the Givers joins us for more on this, Ali Sablay. Thank you so much, Ali Sablay, for joining us. Ali Sablay, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right. I'll start by asking what the effect of the flood has been. Before we started this interview, you did mention that it kind of affected and shook your balance. What has it been like for you?
It has been total carnage and devastation. The most challenging thing is not to get into areas that are inaccessible. Parts of the main highway, which is the N1 and the N2, has been completely cut off. We were first called on Monday morning at 5:20 by the local municipality, who informed us the river has burst its banks, cutting off 5 towns. Simultaneously, the calls coming from other municipalities informed us of similar devastation. When our teams got on the ground and moved through people's homes and structures, we could see complete destruction. Everything was destroyed. And the most heart-touching stories were when a mother tells you, I don't mind losing my furniture and my belongings, but the most saddest thing is when you see the only food you have floating away in front of you. Our estimation is close to 12,000 people are affected, and once roads come accessible to reach those that are cut off, these numbers could rise.
I mean, that's a very devastating situation indeed. Now, we understand that your team is on ground to help. In what way have you been able to reach out to these people? What are the kind of help that you've been able to render? And how did you come about what you use to provide assistance to the communities?
We are currently rolling out hot nutritious meals. Some of the people hasn't eaten for 2 to 3 days. They are very hungry. We are providing them blankets, warm clothing, personal hygiene items, baby care packs, mattresses, and there has been a call out for some drinking water, and some water has been contaminated by the sewage that has been flown into the rivers and coming in the streams. Gift of the Givers has assisted these communities with clean drinking water. There's been appeal for the animals as well. Some of the animals cannot eat the grass or drink the water that's around them because of the contamination. We are currently assisting them by providing animal feed. And the sad thing is, many of these areas' electricity is completely cut off. People without electricity for going on 4 days now. Cell phone towers is destroyed. And this devastation in terms of schools and clinics as well has been damaged. Close to 200 schools has been affected by this current disaster.
Now, are there any challenges or obstacles that your team has encountered while trying to provide assistance to the victims in Western Cape?
The only challenge to us at the moment is the inaccessibility of roads, not reaching to those people that are cut off. They are calling us on a daily basis, appealing to us. The shops have no more items on that side because it's cut off. They're completely hungry. There's elderly people that have to take chronic medication. There's young mothers who have to feed their children. So that's the only challenge we have currently is the inaccessibility of roads, but all credit due to the relevant authorities who are working around the clock, trying to fix up these roads, trying to make detours through mountains so that we can deliver aid to these residents.
Now, I did mention funding earlier. Have the officials of Gift of the Givers established any kind of partnership whatsoever with local organizations or government agencies or humanitarian entities to maximize the impact in response to the floods?
We are working very close with provincial government, with the local municipalities, with the local disaster risk management teams who logistically assist us in reaching these people. Corporate Africa and the South African public in general have been very generous interlating towards this relief efforts. But the challenge is huge. There's still a lot of work and a lot of work that has to be done. This is not a 1 day or 3 day operation. This will take 2 weeks or 3 weeks to assist, to get assistance to all those communities who are still stranded on the other side.
Now, as a team, I must say that your team has done very, very fantastic, in helping these people. But then, as individuals, what do you think that the common person can do, or any other organization, towards assisting the flood victims in Western Cape?
There's a huge shortage of blankets. There's a huge shortage of mattresses, non-perishable food items, new clothing, medication, baby care packs. If there's anybody out there who's watching this and wants to make a difference, you can either donate to the Gift of the Givers teams. Our toll-free number is 0800 786 911, or if there's a local organization in your area that you can assist, please assist them, because there are thousands of people in need of basic necessities.
All right, thank you so much for that, Ali Sablay, Operations Manager, Gift of the Givers, and well done for the help that you're rendering to the victims of the flood. We appreciate your time with us on the news.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now to more stories. A new documentary following Operation Dudula by the BBC Africa Eye, called Fear and Loathing in South Africa, has seen mixed reactions on social media. The 51-minute movie, which follows Operation Dudula commanders, alleges that xenophobic and violent attack against migrants are on the upswing in South Africa. Now, since its release, social media has been a hive of activity, with some demanding for Operation Dudula to be disbanded and the government to intervene, while others argue that the documentary is prejudiced and fails to consider the situation on the ground. Earlier on, Dr. Vusumuzi Zibanda, the chairperson of the African Diaspora Forum, joined us from Johannesburg to unpack this.
Dudula operation as a grouping, you will probably be aware that it has had to break up a couple of times. I mean, Tanta Lux, for example, initially was one of the members of Dudula operation, but because of the highlights and the critiquing that has been taking place about its hatred of migrants, he ended up disassociating himself, with that particular organization, to the extent that now it remains, dwindling. It's Dudula operation, and you've got Put South Africa First, and you've got Patriotic Alliance by Gate and Mackenzie. So those are just, the groupings that seem to show that xenophobic flair, as far as the groupings are concerned. But Dudula is a very small, grouping now, much, concentrated in Alexandra. And of course, some areas of Soweto, they've since, joined the Soweto Parliament and left the Dudula operation grouping.